You know, that's
That's
my
what,
point.
right. So that's what I was thinking. Everybody, I don't think nobody's 51, or they may have just turned 51. Maybe one of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
80
Yeah.
years of marriage between three couples. That's
Well, two of the couples got married like right out of high school, didn't they? Or college. I
like
mean,
a year, like a year or two. In fact,
yeah.
I have their dates actually. So the first ones that were married were Shannon and Kevin. They were married in 90.
Okay.
And then Damon and Raquel were married in 91.
Okay.
And then Kelly and Jabbar were married in 97.
Okay.
So, but damn.
Took the words out of my mouth.
But for it to be how can I put it? For the atmosphere to be what it is, and they are so young, being married for so long, it breaks a lot of stereotypes. It just does to me, as far as how folks see marriage nowadays, how folks see Black love nowadays, all of the divisive things that get attention on social media, and all of the negative things that get attention in the news all the time. You don't think it would be very rare, but we know three couples that they gotta go out and come back again. We know three couples that and probably more if we advertised, but these are just three that we know that we're Facebook friends in a couple of different groups. All three of the couples in some kind of way have helped us in our winter coat drive, whether getting them directly to the youth, that's Jabbar, or always there. Raquel is always there participating. We already know that Shannon is always there participating. So
I mean, I know quite a few long time, very young couples. I do.
I do too.
But it's just overshadowed so much by people who just, well, everything right now is overshadowed by negativity for some reason.
Right.
You know, you can't sit and watch a show that's some good, wholesome. We can't watch the Waltons no more. It's got to be reality, conflict, kind of shooting, killing, all
Right.
that. It has to be all of that. So it's just difficult, I think, for people to watch anything that's as wholesome as that. You know, it would have been nice though to at least have one
elder couple,
young couple on.
Younger,
young couple, a young couple in their 20s. I know one actually.
Right.
Young couple in their early 20s and newlywed, so to speak.
Right, I do too.
I think that would have been nice for them to watch. Matter of fact, I'm going to see about tagging them to watch this, and I'm gonna text her.
Kelly just hit me. She's trying to come in now.
Okay. But I think it's more like Coco said, we just hear about the negative ones more than the positive. I think there's a lot of couples out here that are willing to fight and struggle and do what they have to do to stay married and not just give up.
And that's what's easy nowadays.
But there's certain, it is easier just sometimes to give up. But I'm almost guarantee you there's not a time in their marriage, all three of their marriages, that there wasn't a day that one of them wanted to give up, but luckily, or by the grace of God, the other one didn't. Right. You know, my mother told me that in reference to her marriage, you know, that was over 60 years. She said, there was plenty of times I wanted to give up. She said, but thank God it wasn't the same time your father wanted to give up.
Right.
Right. And when he wanted to give up, one time I would. So you always have to have that one person fighting for the relationship.
Yeah.
Right.
At that time, marriage ain't easy, and it's not for the weak. It's not for nobody's weak at all.
No.
And did you go live? Did you go live already?
Yeah, we live. Can y'all share when you get a chance?
Yeah, I'm getting ready to. I text them to watch it. So.
But a couple of them are already saying they're trying to come in, and I don't see them getting pulled in. They went out. I told them to click on the link. Hopefully they'll come through in a second.
When I come in, I have to dial in. I'm not dialing, but I have to go to join a meeting and put the codes in manually.
Oh, really?
The link never works for me.
Wow. I didn't know that. Because I would.
That's just for me. I don't know.
Coco, how do you usually get in? Do you just hit the link?
Yeah, I just hit the link and it just, and when you started, it comes up.
Right.
I can't find a person that I want to tag specifically.
But
Somebody phone on or the volume on, I should say. I'm sorry.
I think that's Coco.
Yeah, because I could hear what we were just talking about.
Oh,
Anyway, folks, we're waiting for our guests to come in. We will be talking about Black Love, 3 couples, 80 years of marriage. Try to get a little bit of insight. Definitely, it might maybe a lot of insight depending on who you are and what you're looking for in the conversation.
yeah.
So
Most definitely.
hold tight.
I wanna ask this,
They're trying to come in now.
Can you just tag someone in the comments?
On I don't know. I don't think
If they're
on live
visual
you can.
thoughts, I don't think you can.
I don't think so.
You'd have to put it on your page and then do it.
Yeah, you could do that, I'm
Oh,
sure. We're waiting for our guests, folks. We will be but it's a when I was adding up the years, I just you sit back and think that's a long time. And like you were saying that you go through the ups and downs, but it has to be a conversation in the very beginning about it's never over.
Mm-hmm.
Or the breakup of we're not breaking the fact that has to be in my opinion, that has to be a conversation, especially nowadays. But I think anytime that has to be a conversation, not necessarily with that tone of the negativity, but just that this is it. This is what we're doing. Whatever we go through, we go through. That has to be talked, in my opinion. That has to be talked about. Come on, man.
Like
But
there's
the
no
thing-
deal breaker.
Yeah. But all those 3
breakers.
couples, they just have us a strong foundation. They really, really do.
Right.
They have a strong foundation. And it's something that I admire in all 3 relationships. You just see the love within them. You see the how unique and authentic it is. It's not forced, it's unique, and it's just, and like I said, I know they go through their crap at home. I know
Right.
they go through all their drama and
But
everything.
but I think that's
good. But you can see that love with them and
Right.
admiration.
Right. But but see, even with that, how can I put it? It's a lot of couples that break up and they love each other.
Mm-hmm.
Because they just can't live together.
Right. But see, that's where other things that I haven't mastered come into play, because it's a lot of folks that just walk away when they're too frustrated, when they've had enough of this specific situation.
I know. Well, the one thing that in my observation, I'm going to say, because I know I'm blessed to know some couples that have been together very long, like 50, 60 years. And right now, and not in the current right now, but our generation, it seems like we could not fathom having gone through as much as what I know them to have gone through and still be together.
Right.
Because anybody I talk to now, and even in my mind, like, I've been gone. You know, the stuff that I know them to have gone through.
Right.
I'm not talking about necessarily like infidelity, anything that's real crazy, that stand out really, really crazy, but people just don't tolerate anything from anybody anymore. And I think it's kind of what our country has kind of driven down on us, because you constantly hear, you got to be happy, you got to be happy, you got to be happy. If they're not making you happy, you need to go, you need to leave, you need to leave. Happiness is right here. You got to figure it out for yourself. You can't worry so much about what the other person's doing, what they're not doing, what they're not listening to, and all of that. I mean, not to say that someone should be able to just make you feel any kind of way, short of abuse. It's not, and you can make up whatever you want to make it in your head, but it's not. We couldn't fathom it. We couldn't fathom it. But we have so many deal breakers. Our tolerance is very low. And you hear it even from people dating, because I hear a lot of people say, My tolerance level is low. My bullshit meter. You do this,
Right.
go. You do that, you gotta go. You pick your toes, you gotta go. I mean, come on, really?
You're gonna pick your toes. Right.
Right.
And I think that happens a lot of time also as we get older and we get more
Right.
set in our ways. At this
Yeah.
age, now it's like, oh no, I'm definitely not dealing
I've
with
heard
that.
crazy
Definitely
stuff.
not with
She
that.
gained a pound, she gotta go. She gotta be
Right.
100 pounds. That's it. She get 101, she out of here.
She out of
Yeah,
here.
I've heard that dumb stuff too. So
Crazy.
we're having an issue. Kelly's texting me and she's saying that it says the host has another meeting in progress, and that's
Send them the same link you sent us.
yeah, I definitely did. Let me. Can one of you do me a favor? The link that I sent you, can you inbox Kelly Ferguson?
And Shannon too.
Yeah, because Shannon's been trying to get in too. Damon hasn't hit me yet, but they might be trying to get in. Just tried by phone and it said
You got it, Coco?
Yeah.
meeting hasn't started. Right.
I'm gonna do Shannon. I don't think I'm friends with
Kelly Ferguson.
the link.
I am. I got
Yeah.
it.
I'm
I
trying.
gotta find the link first. You know, I'm old now. God damn it.
This is
Gary,
the, these issues with Zoom. Making me,
Shoot. It took me. Wait a minute. It took me to the meeting. Oh, thank you.
I did the same thing.
it's gonna make these issues with Zoom is gonna make me
It took me to the exact meeting.
yeah, this is like the second time. Okay, somebody's on here. Who we got?
Yeah, I sent it to Kelly. And who was the other person?
I
It
sent it
was
to
Shannon.
Shannon. And who else?
And Damon and Raquel are coming on, but they haven't texted me or anything.
I'm gonna send it to Raquel just in case.
Oh,
Okay.
I just did.
Oh, well, we both.
Okay, sorry about that.
And then it says
Don't get it, that's for sure.
Oh, they gonna get it.
went back
I'm
out.
drinking my ginger tea.
Somebody was just on and then went back out.
I got water as usual.
Yeah,
I went back. I went back. It's been a couple weeks since we did the wine show.
mhm.
So I
Hot
put
flash
the rest
show.
of the wine. I went to put the rest of the wine in the refrigerator. And so one Friday I went in there, got it, poured a glass. I started drinking. Man, that hot flash came up on me. Oh, it's definitely the wine.
Ooh, Coco said, "Oh Lord."
I drank that thing, a couple sips in, that hot flash came and got me. I said, oh no, this wine, there's something else in there. I don't know what's going on.
I know that's right. You came out your clothes that day. You had beads of sweat right here. Started.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna forget that I don't have to go to work tomorrow. It's gonna feel weird.
You said you
'Cause I'm
don't?
not-
Because I'm going to actually be working.
You working tomorrow?
Well, I have a big project that I have to get done. And the only way I'm going to get it accomplished is if I work through tomorrow.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Unmute all.
There you are.
Hold on.
Somebody coming in. Oh, the Griffins are coming in.
Yeah, the Griffins are coming in 1 second, as soon as they start the video. Y'all got to start your video.
I'm trying.
Oh, she's doing the wrong number. Okay, Raquel is doing the wrong number.
Oh, for real?
You sent her the link.
Yeah, she's doing an 883 number.
Well, maybe that's what Kelly was doing too.
Okay, your phone just froze. I can't see.
See, this what you do when you get people over 50 trying to get us in modern technology.
We Teddy Riley in it.
Right, we Teddy Riley in it, man.
It should be something to ask y'all to start your video.
Jesus, over here calling in.
Y'all calling in or y'all video?
See?
Trying to do video.
Oh, okay.
Call a teenager.
They don't have nothing in the house.
Like empty nester.
Empty nesters.
Uh-huh.
There they go.
There they go.
Wait, I gotta flip the camera.
Oh, you got us?
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. Y'all got y'all camera. Y'all got a cameraman there.
The kids in the house. See?
What's up? What's up?
The Griffins.
The Griffins.
What's happening? How y'all doing?
I'm doing good. We're doing very well. How y'all doing? Glad y'all can make it.
Good. It was Kayla helped us tremendously. Otherwise, we would have still been plucking around here. Hard out here.
It is. It's hard out here. I'm here to tell you.
All right. So we were talking. We're still waiting on the other two couples as they try to get in here. They working
To
on
get to their kids too.
Well, Damon and Raquel got. Well, yeah. Well,
Look, DJ know how to do
They
it.
empty nesters.
DJ. I don't think
a little
DJ.
bit. Yeah.
Yeah, Kelly and Jabbar, they have teenage girls, so I know they can get on.
Mhm.
I keep checking to see if somebody pops in. But we were talking about the fact that y'all old, right?
Oh,
So
I don't insult folks. And stuff.
listen.
That's how you going to introduce
Y'all been married for almost 30 years. That has to get old, right?
It don't get old. No, that I know.
No.
See.
I don't look at it that way.
It don't get old. Doesn't get old.
You have it. Wait a minute. That's not real, Coco.
It gets frustrating. That doesn't mean it gets old.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah, he gets on my last nerve, and
Yeah.
It goes. It happens, but you know it. You know.
Hey Kevin, I see. Wait a minute, I'm great bringing up a man, and I see a little sucker in you right now. You
No.
almost bowed down right there. You almost bowed down right there.
No. See, here's the deal.
I'm listening. I'm bringing somebody.
You're gonna have issues, point blank, period. But the thing is that you gotta know that this is not your enemy.
Right.
As long as I know that she's not my enemy, we can have issues, we can have problems, and we're gonna work it out. So
Right.
if you want to call me a sucker for that, I'll be
There
the
you
sucker,
go.
but she's not my enemy.
Hey, and happy life, happy wife,
You
happy
call
life.
him a sucker, but he got 30 years on you, bro.
Yeah, you got 30 on me. I'm starting over like a mud whenever that happens. I had you, Damon. Come back though. I had you. You was on there. But yeah, I'm with you now. See, that was one of the things that I knew I was going to touch on, because that's the saying: happy wife, happy life. But it's a lot of compromise in there. But I do believe perception of a lot of, and I'll say black males, is if you do something good for your wife, or even if you cater to your wife, you a sucker, you henpecked. You get all these labels that try to play on your ego, because it's really their ego that's feeding it, but because they choose not to do that. But you, like you say, you know who's not your enemy. I'm not going to say you know who your enemy is. You know who's not your enemy. So to cater to the person that you want to be with that long, isn't that what you're supposed to do within reason?
Absolutely. It's like this. It's like this. It's about commitment, right? And if I made a commitment, and if we understand and have a definition of what marriage really is, you know what I mean? That she is supposed to be my helpmeet. You know what I'm saying? So in other words, she's my gift. You know what I mean? She is absolutely my gift. So if it's a gift, you take care of your gift. You know what I'm saying? So if I can't understand the value and the treasure in her or whatever, and I abuse it, then somebody else is going to get the benefits. But it's my gift. So if this was a gift that was given to me, I'm going to make sure that it's taken care of, period. And it should be vice versa. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, so I know we do say, you know, happy wife, happy life. That's true. But at the same time, they make us happy as well. You know what I mean? So it's a flip side to it as well, because, you know, it's the honor that she has to bring towards me as well. So it goes hand in hand. So, you know, I will always make sure I take care of my gift, point blank, period. You know, because it's absolutely the gift that I'm going to say that God has given to me. You know what I mean? So because it's my gift, I'm going to put value on the gift that He gave me. So
I'm about to cash app you my tithes and offering. God.
Excuse me, Derek. You're going to text the link to Kelly.
You said
But I do have a question.
She's not on Messenger. She said you have to text
sorry.
it.
Well, I want to make sure it's the same. Can you text it to me? Because I might have been saying it's like, because they came in when you text it to me, and I'll send it straight to her.
All right, I'll text it to you.
Mr. House, what's up?
What's going on, man?
What's going on?
Hey, Damon, where's your better half?
Your wife with you? He froze.
His hand is.
Right. He gone.
I do have a question for the couple though. I know where you are now. I don't know you guys when you were much younger, but I know where you are in your faith now. Has that always been a foundation in your marriage, or did you both grow into that together and learn that together in the same direction? You know what I'm saying? Has it always been there?
That's an excellent question, and I would say yes, but I would say it's definitely gotten stronger. But and I would say that Kevin led that. So I didn't come from a spiritual background. It's not like we went to church on a regular basis, although we had an understanding of what that was. Kevin had a much more stronger foundation in that. And one of the things that we didn't want to do, although we were leaning to, was living together before we got married. Because he was in the service in Texas, and I was back in Maryland. And so, but we knew that that's not what we really wanted to do. We wanted to be married before we lived together. So that was something that we just both kind of believed that was the right way to go, or the right thing for us to do. And so the idea of wanting to honor God through our marriage and placing Him first was always there, but it was a kernel that grew as we grew in our relationship with Him independently, which helped our relationship to grow together.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you. I like that. I'm serious. I'm going to think the Cash App in a second. Pastor, please.
I'm going to hurt you.
But the fact that, like you said, he led that, you had to be open to that process of not even specifically talking about on the necessarily religion, but just open enough to say, I believe in him, or I have a vibe from him that I know he's not gonna, even if we go the wrong way, it's not intentional. I know he has the best, you know what I'm saying? Even before you get to whatever you're choosing to get into.
It is trust, and it's a matter of leading as well.
Yeah.
You know, and not to say anything against women right now, we are independent women, but you also have to have a level of submission. I'm not saying that he's going to bow down. He's going to always keep her best interest at heart, but you still have to have a level of submission, or do you disagree?
No, I think you do.
Absolutely. Or you lead, right.
I think absolutely. But it comes with the territory, because when it comes to submission with a woman, it goes to the point where does a man have a vision? You know what I mean? Does he have a vision for her to submit to? You know what I'm saying? So
that's
is he
right there.
Is he going somewhere that she's to submit and to be a help? You know what I mean? So if it's a husband and he has no vision and have no direction, have no dreams, because that's the thing that, of course, by women being more emotional and more, they're driven by words. They're drawn in by words. So if I can't speak to where we're going, and I can only talk about like right here, or what we got going on just right here, we're not going anywhere, that's not going to have a woman, because a woman wants to dream.
That's
and
right.
When I feed her vision and tell her certain things, she becomes the hands to build it. You know what I mean? She builds more than I build sometimes. You know what I mean? All I gotta do is speak it, and she goes to work. You know what I mean? So
absolutely.
If a man is not giving a woman vision, she don't have nothing to build. Because as I said, the scripture says that she's my help meet. So she's willing to help me to get, to accomplish that what has been that I have. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? That we're trying to build. She's gonna be able to help. But if I can't give her nothing, where do we go?
Right.
And also too, we think about leadership. You could be you can't have a two-headed monster, but both of y'all are trying to lead. Somebody has to take the back spot. right? The supporting role while the other person leads. And it's whoever may be stronger in any given area at the time, right? It's a person that leads in that particular area. And I mean, so it's not like, you know, I always, well, whatever you say, or I'm going to automatically, you know, follow you. No, it's a discussion that we have, and it's who may be stronger in any given area. And I think, honestly, you know, as women, quite frankly, we've been sold a bill of goods as far as this whole feminist movement. I might piss some people off, and I apologize, not really.
I'm right there. Go ahead.
But, you know, we've been sold this bill of goods that, you know, we can do all of this and we can have and we can do, well, yeah, you can, but, you know, you shouldn't have to. You know, we've been sold it,
I put that on Facebook last night.
And so, and so in my household, you know, my mom, my dad separated after 7. So I saw my mom do everything because she had to. So when I came together with him, it was kind of hard for me because I was accustomed to seeing my mom do everything, right? And so, and Kevin being just, you know, he's just a laid back person. So he's like, okay, well, you're going to do it. So I would do this. And he said, well, I'm doing all the bills. Well, I figured out the budget.
What did he say? Go ahead, handle that then. Go ahead.
And I was wearing myself out.
Right. Because you're not built like that.
I want to do everything.
Because you can't, and you shouldn't. It's a partnership.
And I think that's part of our issue in this society is that, especially in a lot of Black households, it's a lot of folks that are married to or living with folks that they're actually in competition with.
Yeah.
And they're going back and forth with the competition, and it's really a drag on the whole house. Because we can be competitive friendly, but we still should be bringing everything to the same pot with the same mentality and the same goals. But I think when sometimes you'll see one couple pop up with a car, and then another couple months later, wait a minute, y'all ain't rolling like that where y'all could, it should have, you know what I'm saying? And you see the competition, and I think it's a drag on us in the long run because no competition really ends well unless it's friendly competition with the same type of goals. Right. So I just think that that's a big part of.
So let's update Kelly and Jabbar on what we're talking about and into the conversation.
Welcome, folks. I see you, Damon and Raquel, but y'all picture them disappeared on me. I don't see y'all.
I see Kelly and Jabbar. They not.
Yeah, Kelly and Jabbar right here. Can y'all say something? There y'all go. There y'all go. Yeah, definitely. So earlier we were talking about how old y'all are. Y'all not quite as old as Shannon and Kevin. They got y'all about 7 years, but your road, y'all been on a long road together. I'll say that.
So Kelly, go ahead. Shannon and Kevin are 28 years, right?
29.
It'll be 30.
They're 29.
And Kelly and Jabbar
30 in November.
They're 28, I believe.
No, 23 this year.
23 this year? Okay. It is 23 this year. And Damon and Raquel will be
they on Shannon and Keith.
Forever.
They're on 30.
After a while, you just start losing track of time.
They're on 29. They're on 29 this year.
They're 29. Okay.
April 12th, they were 29. So they're on 29 right now. Yeah. So,
there they are.
Hey, what's up, Ice?
What's up,
So we were talking about the road, and we got into a little bit of stereotypes of men being called henpecked or things of that nature.
No, let's make it clear. You called them henpecked.
Exactly. Please call it like it was.
I did. Who?
You said they're soft.
You said that.
Sometimes.
You said they soft.
But I followed it up with it's needed. He's supposed to want to make his woman happy.
Right.
He's supposed
why they gotta be soft? Because they want to make their women happy.
See,
soft is soft. I don't make the rules.
But the one that you're calling soft and henpecked, tonight, when he rolls left, she'll be there. When you roll left, your pillow will be there. It's a difference. I'm just saying.
All right now.
It's a difference.
Don't be mad if I make a mistake and hit end meeting. I'm the only one in the house by my. Hey, anybody in here?
Who's soft now? Who's soft now?
Right. That pillow be soft.
Marshmallowy. Okay, so all right, let me get into some of my
Good question.
Some of my questions that I wanted to hit some points on. In the beginning of your relationships, learning how to love a person the way they wanted to be loved. Because all of us have perception of what we're supposed to do and how we gonna get her and how we gonna keep her. But to love somebody the way they actually need to be loved, and you have to learn that in all these years, or it's not gonna.
And how long did it take?
Okay, and how long did it take? Let's start with Jabbar and Kelly, please.
Well, I can speak for myself. We got married when I was 25. She was 28. And it was an experience I could say for myself because I was, young at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So, it took me a while to get to the point that I learned her, as a woman, what she really needed from me, But at the same time, we always had a beautiful relationship. We always communicated. But I just think that on my end, some things were selfish. I'm a young man, and in some areas I was selfish. And I just believe over time, I can remember the day that she told me, she said, Jabbar, you finally understand me. You finally got it. And so that probably.
So how long was that? I'm sorry, but about how long was that when she told you that? How long had y'all been together? About.
Okay, so who's at Pembroke at the house? So you talking to girls? It probably took about close to 10 years. Our relationship, we always had a good relationship and stuff, but just the maturity level, understanding her, because I'm glad you brought that up, because it's like each woman is different, right? Yeah. And they have like a button or something inside of them, and you have to, like a treasure, you have to try to find it. Right. And that's what each man have to do with their wife. And so the day that I got to that point, she said, you finally understand me. You could add to it.
I love the fact earlier Kevin called Shannon a gift. You called Kelly a treasure. I'm loving that, the fact that you worship, you not worship, but you put the woman in that position. That's awesome. That is awesome.
And a lot of people don't want to admit it, like a lot of men, because like I said, I was young, and I think these couples was young as well. But a lot of guys be like, man, we got it. We know what we doing, because, you going back to our days when we dealt with women before we were married. And so, but once again, each female is different. And so, you may be trying to do some things that you done in your past relationships, but that's not going to work. Each woman is different.
Right. Like, everybody's love language is different.
Right. So if she's a gift, or she's a queen or a treasure, you have to find that treasure. Now for men, we different. We operate different. It ain't really like no hidden treasure there.
Right.
We are who we are. But with a woman, most of them have that space in them, and you may think that you're getting everything from them. But women will tell you, like, you're not getting all of me. But when you get that gift for that treasure,
guess what though? What you just said, that will hurt a lot of men.
Yeah.
To understand that they're not getting their all from their woman, and it's mainly because they're not giving enough.
That's correct.
So you're not going to get 100%, even though you think you are. And just think about getting 80% and you real happy with the 80. Mm-hmm. If you could get to that 100, you know what I'm saying? It would just be something else. Yeah. But Damon and Raquel, can you answer? Yeah, Damon and Raquel, can you answer that as far as learning each other's love language and how that helped you to, when you did finally understand each other with a mature mind and time, because time is definitely a factor.
Right. I would say learning that love something that's going to, it took us quite a while. We at the 29 years of being, and been since 9th grade. So after all this time, we grew up together. So we would know. But even after all these years, we're still learning each other.
Right.
So I know one of the things that we learned, we do a lot of marriage courses, and we facilitate marriage courses. And one of the things that we learned early on was each member of the marriage, they have to remember all about them. And I think that relationship standpoint, we taught society that, you know, the relationship and get what you can out of it. Make sure if they're not somebody else. And that's what typically a lot of us. What to answer the question about love language, I'm still learning, man. I'm still,
Right.
you know, we try to do what what we see in our family, how we been raised, but we just gotta make sure that that we actually listening. That's all.
Right. You're a little choppy. You sound a little choppy. We understood you.
That's because they're outside.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's definitely that. You're a little choppy, but we definitely understood you. Yeah, and the fact that you acknowledge that you're still learning, that's huge. To not think that you have. I think we get. I think we all do at certain points in times, but we get complacent with folks that we love, and but we don't understand that they're actually evolving and changing themselves.
Right.
And if you choose to see them when they're, if you're stuck at them at age 30, by the time they're 40, y'all not gonna get along.
And think about the age. You think about the marriage length of marriage with these couples, and how many different processes of their life that they go through. You've gone through puberty, darn near.
Right.
You've gone through childbearing ages. You've gone through empty nesting. You've gone through menopause, all that. That's an ever-changing process that you've had to deal with too, because that person's not the same person you married. They're a different person, but you've grown with that person.
Right, right.
You have to deal with that too.
Right. Now, I want to go to Shannon and Kevin and ask. I wanted to ask, how did you, in growing, you were a changing person, but you also had the family dynamic with children and adding to. You two have 3 children. The other 2 couples have 2 children apiece, and but that's a completely different dynamic. So how did you hold on to yourself?
All right. Well, as you said, first and foremost, you know, we're changing, and so as we get older, her needs change, my needs change. So what I required at 18, you know, it changes. You know what I mean? And as you know, as she got older, it's not the same thing. So, you know, I had to find out what, through communication, first and foremost, to find out, you know, what is her top emotional needs. You know what I'm saying? Because because everybody can have a list of different needs that they feel as though they have. But if I'm hitting those 2 top ones, she will always feel kind of satisfied. You know what I'm saying? So that's the main thing. So it comes through a communication process of making sure that I'm hitting those needs that she had. Because like I said, because she's changing, you know what I mean? So, you know, usually a woman tends to mature a little faster than what we do, as a brother was already saying, you know, and so if I'm still trying to treat her when she's becoming into her really knowing herself and becoming a lady, but I'm still a boy, you know, and I'm still, you know, it's a blog. I'm still trying to bounce on her every two, 3 days. Like, yo, like what's going on? You know, but her needs have changed. You know what I'm saying? So I now have to learn how to put work in, you know, and but it's a communication process. And then from there, as we start dealing with the kids, how we was able to keep ourselves is that, which was really, it was difficult, but we learned how to date within. Okay. So that means that we didn't have the time to go out. So what we would do, we would give the kids all the things in which they did, but we would, you know, once they were situated, we had a date in our bedroom. You know what I mean? Okay. I would take a
that's cheap, Kevin. I like that. That's a cheap date, son. I like that.
Absolutely. You better believe it.
We had much fun. We had to do it on a cheap side.
You know, so you know, you take a little
blockbusters and chill. Blockbusters and chill.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And put those things in there and learn how to still communicate so you don't lose yourself in with the kids, because one of the worst things that a lot of people do is that with their children, once the kids get older, we don't know who each other are. You know?
Right.
So then once the kids graduate and go about their business, now we looking like, who are you?
Right.
I don't know who you are because I never really took time to see you grow. So like you said, so as her needs change, if I didn't pay attention to her needs and understanding how she changed, I'm not gonna know who she is, and she don't know who I am. And so now we got just two strangers living in a house. So we made sure that even though we had kids, we made sure that we made time for each other. You know what I mean? And like I said, and even if it was, you know, like you said, a cheap date with Blockbusters and, you know, and something like that. But that's how we did it.
Just time.
And now
divorce rate is high.
Started.
Right. Divorce rate is high for empty nesters because they don't know each other.
Yeah, they just used to the family routine. Yeah. Right. That's kind of important to grab that, to understand that. And I'm sure you get lost in it as the children are growing because your children always need something. So you're always in the moment. But to understand that eventually they will be gone because they have to live their own lives. And I still want to be with you later. You better make a conscious effort to continue to date one another and to continue to understand each other's growth, and be able to be supportive with it.
At the same time too, D, it's like we always make sure that the kids know each other, that they understood our place. Mm-hmm. So the bottom line is that, you know, you love your kids and you're gonna make sure you do everything for your kids. But my kids knew that she was number one to me. You know what I'm saying? And so she's gonna come first, and then I'm gonna take care of her. You know what I mean? So, you know, everybody has their place where you gotta put, you know, the kids sometimes ahead of certain things, but her needs are gonna be met first. You know what I mean? Because like I said, this is the one that I have to be with. You know what I'm saying? Right. Because when you grow and you go, then we're just here. You know what I mean? So, and I think the kids had an understanding of that. You know what I mean? That she was gonna be first, you know, in my life. So.
Okay, cool. I wanted to ask Damon the same thing because you're a Navy man, and you were growing away from your wife. You were going out on the ships to do your work weeks and months at a time. So with that, how did you two I guess stay in touch mentally, and when you're not there physically, and how did you assist with your growth when you were apart for months at a time? Because I know it was good times when you came home, but I also know it had to be some stressful times when you were gone long periods of time.
Yeah, I would say a big part of that Navy thing, I would say a big part of it had to do with the fact that we grew up together from high school. Mm-hmm. Because we grew up together from high school, it was a little different. The commitment was a little bit different because we were already good friends.
Right.
And I think because we were friends, that helped. And it's one thing for a couple to live together, but it's another thing when you have a support factor there. I knew that she fully supported me. I mean, a man can't go away from family for 6 months, a year, and expect that a woman gonna stand strong and do everything that she's supposed to be doing unless you have, you know, some type of foundation that you're making a sacrifice and she's making one too.
Right.
So with us, it was just the understanding that I'm doing not for me, I'm doing this for us. You know, while I'm doing my part over here, you doing over, you know, back here stateside.
Right.
The level of understanding that we knew that we're making the reasons why we were making this sacrifice. You want to add? No. She don't want to add nothing.
Now I'm with you. It was definitely a sacrifice on both of you, and it was a different sacrifice for both of you. Mm-hmm. It definitely was. But I don't know. I never, as much as we talk, I never asked you that in that way. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I know from knowing you, I see whenever I'm around y'all, it's like clockwork. You know, and I know that's years because I know it wasn't always like clockwork.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. We had some tough years, you know,
Right.
with being able to be separated, you know, for 6 months or 4 months, gone. And to tell you the truth, sometimes when you separate, you need it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That separation, I tell you what, I may be able to say the fact that because if it wasn't for the separation, we wouldn't still be together.
If it wasn't for the separation, Raquel might be locked up with a manslaughter charge.
You know, yeah. So those little deployments and stuff like that had to make overseas. I guess we built on it because when you come home, whatever you was dealing with before you left,
it don't matter.
It doesn't go away.
Happy to see that person.
Yeah.
It's gonna be waiting for you to get back.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I'm definitely with you on that. And that's real though, because so when you go into certain, let's say any corner store in Baltimore, and you'll see a lot of Asian couples that are married that work in that store all day long and then go home together.
That's close proximity.
That's beyond close proximity. No, what you and Ron were doing, Coco, that's close proximity. Y'all were in the same building, but y'all didn't have to see each other.
Yeah, yeah.
If I'm on subs and you on the register, we gotta communicate all day long. You know what I'm saying?
And then they go home to their separate rooms.
Bang!
Right.
That's possible. I'm with you.
Yeah.
That's possible. And now that I don't want to do.
We don't do that.
I don't. The separate rooms.
Right.
Nah.
Mind you, all my husband and I, we work for the same company, and for a time, we've both been there more than 20 years. We've been married now for 16 plus years, and we still work there. We work in the same, not in the same department, not in the same areas of the building or anything like that. We don't ride to work together. We don't work in, same space. Right. And we have different hours. So not terribly different, but we do have different hours. So it works. We don't have that issue. We see each other throughout the day from time to time. I have my work friends, he has his. We go to lunch together occasionally, not every day. We do our own thing. Like we're coworkers. So,
right.
Yeah, so it works. It works surprisingly well.
So I wrote down a couple of things surrounding your marriage date. And y'all were first married. Shannon and Kevin, do you know the #1 song, November 7th, 1990?
7.
Wow. You said 1990?
That's when they were married.
Okay.
I said
was it like High Five? But I like
Ice Baby.
Oh, no. Cause you want a pop rock here.
Was it that real?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
I'm sorry. That was #1 now. Don't act like that wasn't the hit.
Oh, you said the #1 song
when they were married. When they were married, yeah.
Oh,
when they were married.
I thought you were talking about the song in their wedding or something.
Oh no.
No.
Ice Baby in the wedding.
No.
What happened to Ray and Damon? They fell off.
They coming back. I'm great.
Oh, okay.
They went out. I'm great. Get them come back in right now. Kelly and Jabbar. It was I ain't never heard of this one. I bet you Dana has. I bet you Dana has.
You know what?
Something About the Way You Look by Elton John.
What's the date?
Oh, I'm sorry. October 11th, 1997.
Oh, that's my date. October 11th.
That's your anniversary too?
That's my anniversary date. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Wow. 2003. Yeah.
Why I got to know Elton John? I do know the song.
See,
why
that's
got to be me.
I knew you knew it. I saw you, Damon, but y'all left out. I saw you. We'll wait till they come back to hit them with theirs.
But we didn't ask Jabari and Kelly. What do you feel is the foundation of your marriage and holding it together for all these years?
Even though somebody get on your last nerve.
Well, let me.
Who you talking about, Coco? Which one was it?
I ain't saying no name.
One thing is, I think being a friend is important, you know, in marriage. You know, not just being somebody's wife. I remember talking to guys years ago. They used to be like calling women this my old lady and you know my wife, and then you would hear a lot of people say my old lady or whatever. And then I said, is she your friend? And guys would look at me like, my friend? Nah, she my wife. I'm like, is she your friend? You know, so when she's your friend, that's a little bit different. You can get on each other a little bit more. Meaning, just like how you are with your homegirl or homeboy, you know, y'all may get a little bit tired at each other, but the next day or a few hours later, he hitting you on the phone or whatever, y'all going out the same thing with your spouse. If you're their friend, you know, you're going to want to be around them. You know, just like how you will be around your homegirl or your homeboy. You know, you'd be like, look, you know, we cool, we have our differences. Times we may not agree, but at the same time, that's your friend. You're gonna treat each other that way.
Yeah, we have to laugh together. We have to laugh together.
Now, I'm with you on that. First off, we have to be able to people watch and giggle without saying anything to anybody. That's one of them signs. You just give them that eye look, be like, look at this, look at this.
Exactly.
And that's that kind of friendship. That's that kind of I want to say love, but that's not romantic love. That's just getting along, like you say, wanting to be around each other, wanting to. You might look up and be like, "Boy, I wish Kelly was here. We'd be tripping right now." You know what I'm saying? That kind of, like you said, wanting to be around that person. That person is in your thought process, even when they're not around you, and it's not a negative thing because some folks it's negative to them. Oh, I gotta go home, and then you see some folks, boy. All right, then, fellas, I'm going home. It's just a different mentality.
It's like even during this pandemic, you know, being at home, at my shop, you know, the barbershop beauty salon, it was closed down, you know, for a while, and so you know, we've been home, we've been in, you know, and but people are like, man, ain't y'all getting tired? We like, nope, man, we good.
No,
I mean, we all good, you know. Yeah, so. Yeah.
And I'll say this. I'm on the flip side. I'm in the house by myself. Me and Damon were talking the other day, and I told him, I was like, you got somebody in the house to talk, just to be around right now.
Yeah.
Right.
And especially if you get along with them. Now, if you it's war in the house, that's something else. But if you're getting along with the person, this is making it so much easier on what's going on right now with the pandemic. The fact that you can go to your separate corners in the house at times and do whatever, be in your own space, but you always have somebody to eat meals with, to chit chat with, to giggle with, you know what I mean? Just communicate with, because right now I'm having a conversation with this bird out the window. He come every second or third day. I think it's the same bird. I'm pretty sure it's the same one. He come about the same time. But anyway.
They come back to this
but the things that I think all of us are knowing what I know about all of you. We're all spiritual beings, and I think all of us are looking at this pandemic in a way that there's a shift going on, and we should be reevaluating a lot of things. And I'm telling you now, it's going to be a lot of weddings after this. Some folks are going to be breaking up too. It's going to be divorces. But guess what? Then they're not supposed to be together.
Yeah. So tell me this, did you all agree, all three couples, this is a question for all of you, did you all consciously agree that there's no deal breakers here? Let's leave out the obvious negative things that would be deal breakers for people, but outside of that, did you all consciously agree that there are no deal breakers?
No, we had to have a conversation about what they were, right?
Okay.
Because I mean, so there were obvious, like, you're not gonna put your hands on me, I'm not gonna put my hands on you, you ain't gonna talk to me. It was that kind of stuff, right?
Right.
I'm not gonna put it with you sleeping around, you're not gonna put it with me sleeping around. So that obvious stuff, yes. But there were, when Kevin was talking earlier about my emotional priorities, you know, one of the things is, you know, putting me first before your family, putting me first, you know what I mean? Because, and me feeling, and his was having to feel honored and respected, right?
Yes.
So we all have deal breakers, but it's communicating clearly what they are to each other. You know, when we counsel people, that's one of the first things we ask them in our first session is what are your deal breakers? Because because they think, well, you should know what they are.
You don't just know.
And right, and it's not
about.
obvious. They don't always know. So you really have to, you know, be clear on what they are for each other, because what maybe his deal breakers may not be mine, and vice versa, right? To make sure that everyone is feeling, you know, is honored and feeling satisfied in their marriage. So I would say, yes, we do have deal breakers outside of the obvious ones, but we're clear on what they are.
Right.
Right. Okay.
That's awesome.
But that's that communication piece. But like you were saying, Shannon, a lot of people, they know, or they know how to act. We in a relationship no, everything actually has to be talked about.
Right.
If you want the longevity and if you want it to run as smooth as possible, I'll say that.
It's like, Kevin. Also, it's like, you know, everybody has to define. You got to be able to define what those things are. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, a lot of times, you know, if we're not able, like my definition of something may be different from her definition. You know what I'm saying? Right. So okay, what defines a good marriage, or what defines respect to me? I have to be able to communicate what respect looked like to me, because her definition of respect could be totally different. You know what I'm saying? And if we're not clear, I'm going to always be frustrated. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But when she understands what my definition is of respect, then she can make sure that she's hitting those cylinders to make sure that I'm feeling respected. You know what I mean? Because there could be a point where her respect is, well, I come home every day, I go to work. I mean, I go to work.
What else she wants?
I take care of these kids. That's respect. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But, you know, if I'm not letting her know, no, when you come in here and your attitude or your voice level is too high, that's a problem with me. You know what I'm saying? Right. So we have to make those adjustments and we have to define that. But if we don't properly communicate and define what that looks like, you know, because how many couples have said, well, you know, what does it look like to be in love with somebody? And they may not know. Well, you like I said, you know, you're just supposed to know. You know, you're supposed to be able to take care of me. You know that I love you. Well, what does that look like? You know what I mean? Right. What does that look like? Because, you know, you can give me a gun and say, here, this is a gun, but I still may not know how to operate it. Right. And I end up injuring people or injuring myself because I don't know how to operate. You know, because every gun is going to be different. So, you know, if I can't define and know exactly what I'm handling, somebody's going to get injured.
Exactly.
So we need to be able to define what those things are in the marriage.
Mm-hmm. Right. Go ahead, Jabbar.
Did she ask before or after marriage, the deal breaker?
Well, during, really, for the most, after marriage, because it's some things we're figuring out as we go along. You building the plane while you flying it.
Right.
Well, I do want to add too, like we all have children, and I see that we all got married when we were young. Mm-hmm. So with our children, I just hope that we, you know, as a people, we do better teaching our children how to choose, you know, spouses and mates before they get into it than a lot of us did, you know, our generation and stuff. So we need to be more into going back. We old school court. Courting mean, you could go out.
Exactly.
See how it is, but don't put a title on it. Don't say I belong to you. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, y'all go out or whatever, but just be friends. And then with adults or whoever, like, look, take as long as it takes before you get into it.
Right.
Because I'm speaking for myself. I only can speak for myself. Divorce wasn't an option because my father always tell me, going back to slavery on both sides of your family, nobody ever got a divorce.
Wow.
So that made me think even before I got into it, is this what I really want to do? You know, so even though I was 25 years old, a lot of people say, man, you was focused, you know, like, so I wasn't just going to go down the aisle with anybody because to me, I was like, hey, man, this isn't an option to come up out of it. Right. So I'm just saying for our children, for our people, I just hope that we start going back to the ways to say, hey, look, you know, take your time, you know, look at the signs, you know, because a lot of times people see signs and still go down the aisle. Right. But once you're in it, then like with the question that you asked, once you're in it, then you have to work through it. A lot of stuff, you know. But I could see even with these couples here, I always describe marriage like a road, like it's the top of a hill, and like many people don't never get to the top to see what's on the other side.
Right.
It's like in a car, you like, you know what, my car about to conquer. I'm tired. I'm just going, you know, let me just stop right here, get out, you know. But if you could just make it to that top, and I believe that these other couples like us, we have made it to the top, you know, to be able to see what's on the other side. Now we on the down, the down slope now. We coasting now.
Right. It was right.
Well, I would say
just the other day we were talking. We talk about every now and again, like what would happen if one of us, you know, were to pass. And it's kind of like we got to be by ourselves because I ain't got the time to train somebody else.
Right.
I mean, you know, what you like, the inside jokes, and you know, you have a whole way of communicating. Like I can't. And who's gonna get that? And who has the time? Like I don't have that kind of time. I'm just, you know.
Nobody has time for it. Exactly.
Like he said too. One of the things I like what he said is when he started talking about the next generation. You know, Shannon, her and I both are products of a broken family, you know, and so I didn't have an example. She didn't have an example, but we made a commitment that we want to work it out. You know what I mean? We made a commitment that we want to work it out, and so you know we was willing to grind and to do whatever it takes. Because me and her was talking about this just the other day. We had to laugh, right? So we got married in November, right? We got married in November. So and I was in Texas. So Shannon flew out like January the 2nd, January the 3rd, that she moved down to Texas, right? By February the 1st, we were sitting at the kitchen table looking through the phone book for tickets for her to go back home. Because it was like, you know, living with somebody, it's like, who are you? You know what I mean? But
he was like, you got to go. And I'm like, listen, I'm out. Take me there.
Right.
But we just sat, but at that table too, he said, wait a minute. We got to at least try this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that wasn't even trying. Y'all, that was
yeah, so
that was like y'all went on 2 dates and decided, nah, I didn't.
It's not working out. We got married in November, but it's not working out.
But we stomped it out, and so now the thing is that we have created a foundation that our kids can look at. So I love what he said, because now they have a model. So you know, we didn't have many examples of what a good marriage looked like. We didn't have it around. You know what I mean? So, but now our kids can see, and even to this day, you know, they can see the affection that we still have for each other. Right. So after all these years, you know, like, so what daughter wouldn't want to see their a husband the way her dad was, the way her dad loves on her mom? Who wouldn't want that? So now she's looking. But thank you, Lord, for somebody like me. You know what I mean?
Right. But she's looking without looking. Right. It's just what she's seen over and over again.
You know what you're not gonna stand for.
Like it was deep when Jabbar, when you said nobody on your family on either side ever got a divorce. That's like, that's unheard of Black history in America.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Too.
That's you. Listen, I'm gonna tell you how you felt.
That's that Southern blood, though. That's that Mississippi, man.
I'm gonna tell you how you felt. You felt like any player on the Ravens when Ray Lewis said, "This is last year." You know what all of them said? I ain't messing up. Not this time. It was pressure. It was pressure on you, but it was good pressure on you. Right. It was the kind of pressure that said, don't do it unless you sure.
Unless you in it to win it.
Right. You know what I'm saying? It was good pressure, but it was pressure on you. But that's what y'all talking about, that generational, what our children see and the repetition. And just those little, and it's not anything that you can plan it out, but what your children pick up on, you can't plan it out. It just have to be there. It's just, you know what I'm saying?
They have to see
do as I say, not as I do. You know, do as I say, not as I do situation.
Right.
No, you got to walk it out. They got to see it.
They have to see it.
Walk that out. Well, you know what? I would like to do this. I would like to do this again with young couples and have some older couples on too, that see a balance and to help some young folks. In addition to, I just wanted to say, I know just from my personal I knew all three of these ladies from high school, and you guys had an unfair advantage than some folk I know about. So, because y'all prizes, y'all really did. These three ladies were very good people from the very beginning, in my observation. So y'all had a very...
Nah, Raquel ain't stopped wearing show heads till like 92, 93. Nah, man. She probably got a BVD on under that right now. She got a BVD on under that right now.
They got show heads came back out, Derek.
Y'all keep going out. Y'all killing me. That was Shannon Kevin that went out.
Can I add something though?
Go ahead, Jabbar.
Yeah, I was gonna say for the sister, I think Kevin. That said that they didn't come up with the upbringing. That's the same like Kelly's story, right?
Right.
And so another thing that we do is our home is the home that all the children come over to.
Really?
So, and we have a lot of children in broken homes that come to
the comfort zone.
So you're an example.
Now, I did want to speak to that. I did before we go, definitely. Damon and Raquel, can you speak on stability for me? And go ahead.
I had both of my parents living with me my whole life until my father passed away. I mean, my father was always in my life. So that is what I saw, and that is why I knew what I saw was a man take care of his family.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just what I knew it was supposed to be without even giving any thought, because that's just what I saw.
Right.
So it wasn't like I went out looking for whatever. That's just what came to me.
Gotcha.
So that's just what found me after all the dingbats. But yeah, that's what it was.
What she's trying to say is I'm
in the ninth grade. How many dingbats could it have been? It's the ninth grade.
What she's trying to say is he a gift.
Somebody stole her cookies. Who stole your butter crunch cookies?
Hey, she dry snitching on herself.
I ain't dry snitching.
Started in 5th grade.
Okay, I am older than Damon. It was Damon's 9th grade. It was my 11th grade.
Right.
So we're not in the same grade.
Okay.
Oh, that's right. A couple of y'all old heads was messing with young dudes. I see.
So Kelly and Raquel cougars.
Oh yeah, cougars before cougars.
Hey, that's wrong with it. But all three, I love the way you guys love out loud, and I watch you like on Facebook and the outings that we go to, and it's always such a pleasure to see you guys with each other. Even when Raquel's cussing out the waitress or whatever, but it's okay. I'm never gonna forget that day. But it is such a pleasure to see the love that you guys have for each other, and it sets such an example for everybody else. It really does.
And you know what, Dana? Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Raquel.
Go ahead, Raquel.
Dana, you had made mention of love languages. It's a questionnaire that we have taken in our marriage enrichment class a couple of years ago, and then in this session as well. And it's important that you take that marriage quiz. It's a his needs and her needs quiz.
Okay.
And like someone has said earlier, I think Kevin has said it, you change. Things change. Like what you liked at 19, you don't like it 25 or 30 or whatever.
Right.
So you have to periodically take that questionnaire. It's like a quiz, and it rates your needs. You and your spouse's needs. So you have to be careful that you know their needs and you're not feeding into what you think they want. You have to know what they want, and that questionnaire helps.
Right.
So it's his needs and her needs.
I like that.
That's the name of it.
I do too. Now I want to ask something that I'm picking up on. Out of the 3 couples, how many of you have been to some kind of counseling or group sessions or marriage counseling or anything like that? 2 out of the 3? Okay.
Ours was a marriage enrichment class from church years ago, like maybe, how many years ago?
Yeah, we probably started, I guess,
maybe
about 15 years ago.
Well, Dame said 15, I don't know, but it was always in a marriage enrichment class. We never been to like a couples therapy or anything, but the thing about the marriage enrichment class is it's good to have before you have issues. You don't wait until you have problems,
right?
Then go see someone.
Right.
You go throughout, every so often you go talk to someone so that you don't have to come up against so many obstacles.
And the reason why it's so important, because we think we know what we're doing. No matter what age you get married, we really have no idea what this commitment is.
Right.
Until we truly get involved in it. So we have just like we learn our technical trades that we utilize every day when we go to work. We had to learn different ways to enrich our marriage and how you actually get along with somebody who could be totally opposite from you.
Right.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it definitely is. But I wanted to note it because there's, of course, in our community, there's stigmas on folks that reach out for help, that seek somebody else to give them information that'll help their lives. Like, we're supposed to have it all. We're supposed to be able to figure it out. When we're frustrated, we're supposed to go to the bar, get a drink, and in the morning, we done figured it out. And usually it's worse. So I like the fact that you have open minds to say, not just that you still need to learn your spouse, but you still need to learn just how to live with somebody. That's huge to me. And that says to me that, again, your spouse is on your mind all the time. And
you're
committed to making it work.
And you're investing in it.
Right.
Continuously.
Definitely. So I
constant work.
Can I share something else, Derek?
Go ahead.
That one thing that couples that may be listening, that it's very, very important that each spouse has someone that they can hold that will hold them accountable.
Yeah. Yes.
And what I'm saying is, and a wife should have a female friend, and the husband should have a male friend that they're willing to listen to, that they're willing to confide in and be vulnerable with, and tell them the truth, and be willing to receive the truth back from that person.
Right.
So if you don't have that type of person in your life,
it's true. Yeah.
Right, not what you want to hear, but pick that person that you know when they open their mouth, they're giving you the gospel and not some trash.
Right. Whether they heard or not.
And everybody that's very important.
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with that. Everybody needs an outlet to talk to, but like you said, it has to be somebody that's gonna be like, yo, you was wrong. You need to, you know what I mean? You need to hear that. You definitely need to hear that.
Right. Yeah.
I agree. So I have one more question, and I'd like to know, when was the last time you gentlemen were forced to wear matching shirts? I need to know that.
King's Dominion stuff right there.
I don't know. Jabbar and Kelly They kind of
matching right now.
Yeah, they kind of matching right now.
Long time to get to this point.
I like your shirt, Kelly.
Married life is a good life. I agree with that. Married life is a good life. Married life is a good life. What,
the last time we weren't forced, but it was during our marriage enrichment class. We had a fellowship, and the whole class wore the same shirt. So if you want to count that, then
we gotta count it. Did he wear it? That's all I want to know.
First of all, it's not about matching, but you coordinate.
That my bad.
There's a coordination.
I apologize. I apologize.
Coordination that happens. You know what I mean?
There's a difference, right, Shannon? You're right.
As long as Kevin don't pop up with no mushroom belt, we good. I want to thank y'all. I definitely love y'all.
Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Everybody take care of each other in the middle of what we're going through. Of course, we'll see each other when we can, but just take care of each other. And I definitely thank you for coming on and giving your insight. And I'm with you, Coco. We might have to we might have to get an older couple and a younger couple.
And old school.
Yeah, layer it up a little bit, so that because the elders definitely gonna tell us about ourselves. You already know.
Hey, Derek, I might volunteer Milan and Marcus.
Okay.
How long? They haven't been married a year yet, have they?
No, just in September.
But you know what, Derek? Those dynamics may work because especially if you got three couples here. Mm-hmm. Why not look and see what the next generation? What did they pick up?
I'm with you. I'm with you.
That's important.
It's very important. It's very important
fact.
Yeah, absolutely.
What are we teaching versus what we think we teaching them?
Right.
Because it's one thing.
My
It's
son
one
is
thing.
engaged. I would love to have a conversation with him involved in a conversation we may necessarily be a part of, but he's with another couple. They're engaged right now. So to see, like, to Damon's point, you think what you tried to convey and work
Right.
Right, but did it land? Right.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna have to work on that. I'm gonna definitely work on that.
Good point.
Thank you. We definitely we always go past 8 o'clock, but we ain't worried about it.
We need to apologize for our technical difficulties. We on the road back from Baltimore. So.
But y'all had Teddy Riley on the phone.
Right. We pulled over and we still didn't get it right. So we apologize, but next time we will be sitting down like Shannon.
No, we good.
Kevin.
Y'all got in what y'all was supposed to get in. Y'all definitely added to the conversation. Added to the conversation. Now I will say, Raquel, when you first came on, I didn't know if you had your head wrapped or that was a little ponytail right there. I had to do like this a couple times, right? I was trying to check it out, but it looked nice. It looked nice. But see, I remember Damon don't like fake hair, so I knew what it was. I remember. I'm messing with him now, y'all. I remember that. I just remember that. That's all.
Thank y'all. We appreciate y'all.
Yes. So open with us.
Thank y'all for having us.
Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all. Y'all know we'll be seeing each other. We'll be seeing each other on online, and love y'all.
I'll be back.
All right, see y'all.
See you.
All right, be blessed.